And it says that we are live. Of course, it's Thursday night, and we're going to try and be as normal as we can around here. Not that we're ever really normal. It's time for GotBot Goes live. I'm going to try and adjust this a little bit, but I'm not happy with the way the light doesn't want to cooperate here tonight. We'll do the best that we can. Of course, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and while you're at it, man, doesn't want to work tonight. There we go. Hit that notification bell because it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Helps me out a ton. And while you're at it, check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors, NL, and the Autobot family. And we are here tonight under, let's be honest, some pretty trying times in our world. And last week I questioned if it was business as usual. This week I think we know, man, it absolutely is not business as usual. So kind of what does that mean for us as collectors? I've always said that I look out for my wallet and yours. Now I also want to be looking out for my health and yours too, because this is one of those examples of times when wherever we are in the world, man, we're all one big happy family or one big dysfunctional family, as the case may be. A few things tonight to cover, a few interesting things to cover as people are slowly coming in here, and I'll get to all that shortly. We're going to go through reveals and whatnot from this week. We're going to talk about what it means not being business as usual and if that opens up an opportunity. And we're going to kind of very quickly recap the story for Universal Collision so far, specifically Season 2, because tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have the premiere of Episode 7. Right now, as long as I'm home, I'm going to be putting extra effort into finishing off Season 2 for you guys. Tomorrow's episode, just so you know, like I said, 7 Eastern, and it runs about 25 minutes. So nice little half-hour episode. It's going to be one that's going to kind of turn the story as we know it so far on its ear just a little bit, but we'll get to that a little bit later. We, of course, have our trivia. We're going to talk about that coming up. And I'm just very quickly going to kind of get things sort of settled away here as people are coming in. I appreciate you guys being here. I know that, you know,
it looks like we got a Scraplet classmate.
Oh, we might. We may very well. And that's cool too, man. That is, hey, man, that's great. No problem. Happy to have it. That being said, I'm hoping that, you know, some people will kind of come in here, if for nothing else, to kind of get away from the everyday, man. We're here to have a good time. Sometimes I air some grievances, but that's just me being a cranky old man. It is what it is. So I'm going to, we're going to pop that out there, and I'm going to work on setting some stuff up. I hope you guys are being safe. I hope that you're following everything that like health officials are instructing you to do, whether we agree with it or not, whether we think it's overboard or not, where we live individually in terms of the current health crisis going on globally. I hope that you're following what health officials are saying, because they know what's going on a lot better than we do, man. But we'll touch on all that in a little bit. It's not going to be our prime focus. Pardon the pun when I say prime focus. Let's see. I think we may be okay there now. Just bear with me. I know, man, there's a whole lot going on. Oh, I think that was a bit too much there. Okay, of course, Starscream Wife is in here. MWG, I'm happy that you're here, of course. Good afternoon for some people. Good afternoon for you. I don't know what time zone you're in, MWG. I know you and I have talked so much. I have no idea, though, like what our time difference is. Skybite, happy you're here, buddy. Let's see. Ooh. Otaku Otaku Mecha. I hope I'm saying that right, man. Happy to have you in here. What? Baby Tuck. Wow. Okay. Jason, happy to see you in here. Soul Mist, happy you're in here, guys. Soul Mist, by the way, yesterday, I think, put up a new video himself. Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. Just saying, just a suggestion. Dragonfly, happy you're here. ALB, happy you're here. As we go down here, Nathan, happy to see you too. Dragonfly and MWG in Central. Oh, in Central. Yeah. It's still actually, daylight is going away here now, but it's just setting. So if you're in Central, let's see, being the time it is here, I'm gonna guess it's about 5 your time. Tell me if I'm right, man. Tell me if I'm right. Neuro, happy you're here as well, my buddy. Always glad when you drop by. Okay, so we actually have a bunch of things to go through. I'm gonna do the trivia. It's a little bit different. The trivia tonight, of course, provided to us by a good friend of the channel, Dragonfly. And the trivia tonight it's definitely Transformers related, but it's also a little bit of Family Guy. So if you're a fan of Family Guy, this one might be an easy one for you. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. Although I do enjoy a little bit of Peter Griffin sometimes. Just saying. According to Family Guy, I'm going to say according to Peter Griffin. I don't know if it was Peter who said it now, but according to Family Guy, Optimus Prime is what religion? What religion does he practice? Is he Buddhist? Right? That's Optimus Prime.
Oh.
Is Optimus Prime Buddhist? A. Is he Jewish? B. Is he Christian? C. Or is he Hindu? D. Is Optimus Prime Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, or Hindu? We'll get back to that one. We'll get back to that one shortly. It's not a trick question at all. It's according to it's Family Guy. So I mean, Peter Griffin. I mean, leave it to Peter Griffin to come up with the idea that a giant alien robot would practice an Earth religion.
Oh, okay, I missed that part. Shit.
Skybite is guessing Jewish. Yeah, just after 5 where MWG is. I know my times. MWC, MWG is also saying Jewish. ALB is saying Jewish. Ty in here. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you do not know, Ty will be one of our esteemed cast members going forward in Universal Collision, making his premiere tomorrow. Let's see. Trying to get this play, but I swear my phone's terrible at the moment. It's all right, man. It's all right. You got your shout out. You're good, buddy. You're good. Starscream wife, you got a guess for the? Oh, you're gonna say B2, peer pressure again. And the answer is B, Jewish. Absolutely. Man, you have been killing it lately with the right answer, Starscream wife. You gotta start listening to the people more. To the people. That's my terrible Bane impression from the movie. I could do better. Don't judge me. Okay, so few. Don't know. He's not Buddhist Neuro, but nice try, buddy. Nice try. What? Cybermatic Geek. I don't understand how his brain works, but I love the guy. Let's see. I remember when Family Guy was watchable. Then it got uncanceled. Okay. All right. So I think we'll go through the news and reveals because that's pretty quick. We'll go through that and then we'll talk about business as usual. News and reveals from the week. There's a few of them. Flame Toys showed their Kuro Karakuri IDW Stealth Bomber Megatron. He looks beautiful. Now, it looks like he has a fusion cannon on each arm. I don't know if that's accurate or not. It's common for Flame Toys to kind of take the idea and then stylize it a little bit. That's maybe what they've done here, but it does look beautiful. If you're into that Stealth Bomber Megatron from the comics, I think, and you're okay with him not transforming, I think this one is a slam dunk. Bit expensive, but absolutely premium. There's no doubt about it in my mind, man. We also had cited in the US Roadbuster and Jet Shatter. I don't expect we're going to get them anytime soon. I would love to have that Shatter. Studio Series 59 Shatter. I would love to have her. I don't see it happening soon. Not around my neck of the woods, which is unfortunate because I got that car and I'd like to leave it in car mode, but it's a terrible robot for Shatter. I feel like the Jet one will be exponentially better, even though there's a lot of junk on the back. I get it. Cyberverse Season 2. I'm gonna mention this because it harkens back to something from a week or so ago. Cyberverse Season 2 is being shown here on YouTube. I think at the Transformers official page, whatever channel. And they're showing all of Season 2 in basically a 3-hour movie. And they have already put up Episode 1 of Season 3, which was Bumblebee Adventures, Cyberverse Adventures, whatever it was. And a little while ago, I talked about spoilers for Season 3. And I said, I've watched all of Season 3 because I had 5 people give me spoilers and pretty much ruined the season for me. And I said, I won't do it to anyone else, but I think you should watch it. And they said, yeah, but it was all online, blah, 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 because it got leaked. It got shown earlier in certain places when it shouldn't have. It premiered in the US, according to my information, on March the 15th, and we've had 1 episode, maybe 2. Based on that information, I think it's okay to talk about those first 2 episodes, but not anything more. For example, in Episode 1, Perceptor is introduced, and I think it's a definite kind of reimagining of the character, but I think it's fantastic. I love the way they're portraying him. Absolutely loving it. And that's all I'm going to say about it because I don't want to ruin it until the whole thing is aired. Going on down here, what else do we have shown this week? There's a Wheeljack upgrade kit that was shown by a good friend of the channel, Event Progenitor, to me. Kind of provides some extra blasters. I'm personally using one of the little black ones that came with Generations Huffer, Pipes, Cliff Jumper, that little black one that was used with a bunch of them. It works fine with my Wheeljack, but there is an upgrade kit for it. We also saw more of the Shockwave Labs upgrade kit for Shockwave, giving him, I think, a new arm and like an LED light inside of his cannon. Looks cool, I guess. Going down here, what else do we have? We saw more images of the reaction offerings, Grimlock and Bombshell and Jetfire, Skyfire. By the way, Jetfire, Skyfire, whatever you want to call them, the Commander Class 1 here in Canada is being offered now from Toys R Us online for, I believe, $49.99 Canadian. Great deal if you don't have him. Phenomenal deal if you can afford him. And, of course, a lot of people right now with what's going on are having to stay home because of a lot of isolation and quarantine and whatnot. So a lot of people just don't have the spare scratch and money right now for that. But if you do, then great. As a matter of fact, our local Toys R Us is now closed until the end of the month. It's not even open. Got to do what you got to do, man. But we're going to talk about that in just a little bit as well. Nevertheless, it's a great opportunity, especially for Canadian fans that didn't get him sooner. What else we have? Revealed this week, MPM 10 Starscream. I believe it was just revealed today. It is movie masterpiece Starscream. I had a hint of this earlier, but I didn't report it or say anything. I believe it's 100 US. I believe it's going to be 169 Canadian, I think. There has been a listing of an unknown movie masterpiece. I think that it's going to be this Starscream. That's my understanding. I don't know, man. We'll see. What else do we have here? Going down. Saw more of Skylynx's base mode. Man, the thing looks gorgeous. I love it. I think it looks phenomenal. The more I see it, the more I want Skylynx. I love the 2 modes. I love the base mode. Totally in for it. We found out a bit of an oddity this week in a alternate face, I guess, for Earthrise Starscream. one that's like a screaming face. And it's funny that we saw it now. Is it a running change? Is it a factory error? Is it going to be indicative of like an exclusive Coronation Starscream at a later point? Because the screaming face is very indicative of the way his face looks during the scene in the movie when Galvatron says, "This is bad comedy," and blasts him into ash. And also, I believe this week we saw that scene go up on the Transformer social media sites, whatever. So it seems very fitting. I don't know if, and maybe it's not none of that. Maybe it's something totally different. But it was shown on a Starscream body, and it was shown as an alternate face. I don't personally like the screaming face. It's not for me. I like the regular head sculpt. And a lot of people have said that the head sculpt on on Earthrise Starscream is too small for the body. I don't know. I guess that's arguable. I don't find that. I think that the head sculpt is one of the strengths of that Starscream, if I'm being honest. Nevertheless, you know, hedge your bets for what you think it is. What else do we have here? That might be it for what was kind of shown the week. There was a lot of stuff with different comic covers and stuff. IDW doing a whole bunch of kind of comic cover blitzes this week. And maybe that's good for them, considering what we're going to cover with them when we get to the business pages. And there's a lot more interesting tidbits and notes in there than there are reveals this week, actually. So I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to check back with this. By the way, I do have one thing on the way. It's not something I bought. It's something that's being sent for a review. It has not shown up yet, but it is something on the way. We're also, when we talk about the business pages, we're also going to talk about kind of what's going to be going on here with the channel as we go forward, since things are not exactly operating normal. Actually, it's probably going to be a help for us here on the channel. So let me check in with you guys, because I know that there's been people come in and say a few things here. Going down. Firebite, happy you're here. I don't know. I never mind Family Guy. It was all right. I've always had a chuckle from it. What? Optimus was reincarnated twice. He's Buddhist. Fair enough. Jason, Family Guy was terrible. No, stop with the Kiss players. That was a terrible. That was the worst. I detest the Unicron trilogy personally, but I got no problem in saying that the absolute worst concept ever there was in Transformers was Kiss players. It's terrible and inappropriate. That's what I'm going to say about it, man. You judge it as you want, but I don't see it ever coming back, because it's as we say around here, it's not fit. It's not fit, man. Not fit. We do not speak of that monstrosity. See, it's Skybite, baby. Let's see. We need Studio Series and NPM. What? No, we don't, Cybernetic Geek. We absolutely do not need that. No. Although I do find him hilarious, I don't think we need an offering of him in any capacity. What's his name? Ken something. I don't remember what his last name is. What's that comedian's name? Starscream wife? Ken Jong? What's his name?
The guy from The Hangover?
Yeah. The guy who was the one that said this was exceedingly Japanese and got taken out by Laserbeak. Yeah. He was the show Dr. Ken.
Yeah, that's Ken.
What's his last name?
Jeong, I think. Jeung.
Yeah, he's hilarious, but like no, Cybernetic Geek, no, stop it. Let's see. I broke down and I had to order Rat Bat and Frenzy on eBay. Really, man? It's funny. Like our Toys R Us is currently closed, but I was just there a couple of days ago and they had like 8 Rat Bat and Frenzy. Now, to be fair, that's the only store here that ever got them. But they've gotten them and then got a restock of them. So I don't know. I don't think you're wrong for ordering it if you wanted it bad enough. I really don't. I can totally understand why you did. We never did see Singe or Rung here. Never did. And we're not going to now because we got Earthrise stuff coming. I would buy MPM Master. What? I would buy MPM is Masterpiece. Do you mean you'd buy the Starscream, Jason? I love that part of the movie. So it is memorable. This is true. Don't overpay on Siege, Earthrise, Astro Train. Earthrise has the, you know what? I don't care anything about any map piece or any of that junk. Don't care. But we're going to talk a little bit about that Astro Train. I'm going to give you guys just some food for thought. Now, I've talked about it before, but I'm just doing it. It's by accident I'm doing this, by the way, because it wasn't the comparison I was going to make. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, Ratchet. Oh, yeah, Ratchet. I think Ratchet is coming too, Jason, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I can guarantee you I am not the long-lost uncle of Brian Goldner. Not in the least. Maximal 10, happy you're here, buddy. Grimlock Gun, happy you're here. Just in from the mountains. Picked up a Siege Ratchet. Ooh, Siege Ratchet is great. He's fantastic. Input. What?
You're a weird man.
Me?
Did you know the CEO's of Hasbro's name?
Yeah, it's Brian Goldner. Why would I not know that?
You're a weird dude.
No, man, I like the business pages just as much. Input. Nah, man, you're not late, Input. I never seen Ratbat or Rumble at Target or Walmart. Yeah, he wasn't at Walmart here either. Just Toys R Us got him here, which I think would be the equivalent of Target down there. Okay, so now we kind of jump into, I'll say, the business pages. And there's actually a lot here this time because there's a lot going on in the world. Let's get a couple of things straight. Last week, I said that I thought that a lot of people were probably kind of overreacting. And I think depending on where you live in the world, that might still be true. But here's the thing. There are authorities and health professionals the world over. And it's so strange because I've talked before about how we're a global community and stuff. And I think that's more true now than ever because all of us everywhere are going through the exact same things. Like the toilet paper hoarding, that's everywhere. The disinfectant wipes hoarding, that's everywhere. The social distancing or the quarantining or the isolating, that's everywhere. We are seeing a lot of things being closed for the time being. Schools, which of course affects me because my day job is being a substitute teacher. So it's not a great time. A lot of like government offices and whatnot now, a lot of bars and whatnot. Look, here's the thing. Some people are trying to like buck the system. Whether you agree that appropriate measures are taken or whether you think that they are over the top, don't buck the system right now. That's not what the world needs. Do what doctors and health professionals are telling us to do. Whether we agree with it or not is irrelevant at this point, but that does affect us as collectors. Here, personally, locally, we have Toys R Us closed down. They're not going to be getting any shipments. Nothing new is going out for the next couple of weeks at the very least. I've heard that there are airports closing. I've heard that there are ferry terminals closing down. I've heard that except for like necessary items, supplies and whatnot going across the border, even from Canada to the United States, that's largely closing down. Look, if it's not on the shelves now, don't expect hefty restocks anytime soon. This needs to pass. The world needs to heal from this first. And all of us, whether it's here on the East Coast of Canada to the West Coast of the United States to our friends in England and Ireland, to friends that have come in here from Chile, Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, wherever we're to, we all have a role to play. If we want to get back to normal as quick as possible, man, we all got a role to play. And it's not for me to say. The only thing that I can say to you is follow what the authorities are saying. Don't buck it, follow it. Now, I mentioned that about Toys R Us, but there's other things, bigger things that have happened. A lot of factories have stopped production. So even if supplies can get to places, guess what? A lot of factories aren't putting out new product right now. A lot of the release dates that we've heard and that we know are going to get pushed back. And at this point, they'll be pushed back indefinitely. Don't worry about it. The only reason that it would be pushed back indefinitely now is because people are going to say, hey, we don't know when we're getting back to work, so we don't know what the plan's going to be. It's pretty simple. But a couple of interesting tidbits really kind of came out this week. I'm sad to have to report, as a lot of people know now, that TFCon Orlando has been canceled. Though the TFCon exclusives apparently are still going on sale this weekend. That Protoform Azalea, which I think is actually based on what was going to be the G1 RC. I think that's the colors that RC was originally going to be released in, but it never happened. Azalea is great mold. Can't complain about it. A Shattered Glass Ravage. Again, great mold if you're in for it. It's too bad that the con was canceled. WonderCon also canceled. But you know what? So is everything else. I mean, the NHL is closed. The NBA is closed. If you're a wrestling fan, even now, WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights on April 4th and April 5th. From where? From the Performance Center. Because that's their own building. They don't have to have anybody in there. And because of crowd limitations, that's probably why it's split over 2 nights, because they can only have so much talent in the building at once. Such is life. Car companies. I believe just earlier today, Toyota announced it was closing a factory in, I want to say, Ontario. So, I mean, like, it's affecting all of these things. Cons, events, Coachella's been canceled. From my understanding, a lot of things are either going to be postponed or they're canceled. It is what it is. We all need to be patient. Patience is very much a virtue now. What else did we learn? We learned that 3.0, they have announced that there's going to be delays. So expect it. What else do we have? No word yet on if SDCC is going to be canceled in July, but the conversation has come up. Take that for what you will. IDW did put out some good news this week. They did report a Q1 loss per share, which is unfortunate, but so is everyone. Everyone's going to post a loss this quarter, I suspect, except for the toilet paper companies. They won't. You might have noticed in the thumbnail for this that Predaking is defending his roll of toilet paper very vehemently with his Infernum blade. Why not, man? But they did say that there was increased revenue from their comics, up by about $500,000 since Q4 of 2019. So that's good, because they did say that they expected to have increased profits. And guess what, man? That's exactly what we're seeing. Fantastic. They also say that they're on track. I don't know how true this is going to be after all this, but they currently say they're on track for all 3 of their divisions to be profitable by 2021, and that they are looking for a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. You might not want to list it right now because the stock exchange is tanking. I myself have felt that sting. I'm just saying, man. But again, it's all temporary, right? It's all temporary. Hasbro worldwide. I mean, again, you want to talk about new stock with factories closed and whatnot. Hasbro worldwide, including their Rhode Island office, closed till April 1st at least. That doesn't mean it will open April 1st. It means they will reevaluate April 1st and see from there. So March, it's going to be a slow month for product, guys. I'm lucky. I got my Earthrise Wave 1 done. Finished the reviews this week. If you haven't checked them out, hey, man, check them out. What do you wait? Well, not right now. Maybe not tomorrow. Check them out on the weekend, If you don't have it by now, just be patient, man. Just be patient. Let's see. What else do we have here? Hasbro did announce as well that E1 Music will be making music for all of their properties going forward. Now, I said last week that I think they're putting too many eggs in the E1 basket, and I still stand by it. Yes, E1 has tremendously creative people and staff, but just saying, man, come on. You're putting a lot of pressure on their shoulders. I don't like when all the eggs for such a big company are put in one basket. That makes me uneasy. That seems like a desperate move. Just saying. Doing a lot of just saying tonight. Okay, which brings us to what's going to happen here on the channel. Well, here's the thing. I'm home. Starscream wife is home. I am still kind of in limbo trying to figure out what's going on like with my work and how long we're going to be off and you know what's going to be done for for like helping teachers financially and all of this stuff. But at the same time, I feel like that, you know what, we all have to be patient. Everything will be it'll all be fine in the end. Right now, I think us as collectors need to realize that this is an opportunity for us to enjoy the items we already have instead of always hunting for that next one. If you do buy things online, be patient with couriers and the mail and whatnot, because guess what? A lot more people are having to order things online right now, and those avenues, just like everywhere else, are slowed down. Will eventually mail stop being delivered? I think that depends. But for now, at least here in my neck of the woods, there's still mail. It's still going through. I don't know if I would order something necessarily online now. If something's already in the mail, I think it'll get delivered. Be leery, be wary. Enjoy what it is you have now. Enjoy the time with, your plastic friends you have now. Enjoy your time with your family that you have, with friends. Enjoy time here, baby. In terms of what's going to happen here on the channel, because I'm home, I do have the advantage of being able to work kind of full time on content for you guys. We will continue to do the live shows as per usual on Thursday nights. We will continue to do reviews because I actually have a couple of live shows ago, I'd done this huge unboxing. Now it's older items, but it's things I certainly haven't looked at and things that people have asked me to look at, to be honest. So we'll be doing that as well going forward. Most importantly, I'm going to have an opportunity now to really put a push on and catch up with Universal Collision. Season 2 should come more regularly because for as long as I'm home now, I'll be putting in a full work week for you guys. It is what it is, It is what it is. So hopefully all of that should kind of help us get through. For me personally, we'll be okay, man. I have one pre-order left to finish paying off. That's it. And then I'm cool with waiting until whenever the world is open for business again, because it ain't right now. So going up here, I'm just going to check in with you guys because I know I went through a lot of news and notes there. And it sounds basically the message I'm taking away in terms of us as collectors and in terms of just the world in general is, guys, be patient and listen to the advice that we're being given by professionals. There you go. That's my take on that. Let's see. Going down here. We never seen Wave 5 or 4 Micromasters. Wow. Well, Astro Train, I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't worry about it. We'll get to him in a second. Neuro. The hoarding. Yeah, the hoarding's been terrible. So many empty shelves. Now I'm seeing a lot of signs for limits. And I am happy to respect it because I want everybody to have what they need. The food, the supplies, and I've seen some, I saw this one guy and I can only call him a garbage human being. And he had a couple of thousand rolls of toilet paper and he was selling for $4 a roll or something. No. And somebody tried to defend it and said he's just trying to make a buck. No, that's somebody that is deliberately trying to profit off of the misfortune of other people. It's disgusting. It's despicable. And I don't support it. We all know it in the collecting community as a scalper. I'd never do it. You could sit on that toilet paper, baby. I can wait. I'd use socks first before I'd pay him anything. Thu has the... He does. I saw Cybermanic Geek that Thu has that garbage. He has Sad Nexus Prime. I saw that. I commented actually on it earlier in his Damn It Open video. It's so good. Yeah, Starscream Wife, put it there with the hashtag flatten the curve. That's what got to happen. If you don't know what we're talking about, you should know what we're talking about. Then I saw this thing earlier. It's all these people are at the beach for spring break, and they're like, we're going to keep partying. Are you an idiot? Really? No, all that needs to be closed down. You need to go home. It's time for you to grow up and go home. Just Saying, I'm doing a lot of that tonight, hey? I wish, here's the thing. GotBot is a completely different personality than Mr. Moulton. Just, you show different parts of yourself at different times. Let's see. How long until the internet and power just conveniently go out and don't come back? I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, it does. I guess we won't do the live show then. That would be a shame. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, my kids started to drive me nuts with the no school. Severe weather season coming. So tomorrow's first day. Happy first day of spring, everyone. I would say severe weather season is ending. I mean, you got to remember, here in my neck of the woods, we've already, man, this is our second Armageddon in 2020. We already had the Snowmageddon for that week. Remember that? Remember the live show then? The rest of you didn't go through it. In Australia, this is their second Armageddon of the year. 2020 is a rough year, man. Just saying. Why am I keep saying that tonight? I don't know. No, I'm not Gordon Ramsay's anything. What's wrong with you? I pre-ordered Tiger Electronics G1 Transformers game. Oh, that's so good. That's hilarious. I'd love to know how that's going to turn out. Tyrannium, happy you're here, buddy. Walmart is way up. What means way up? Way up in business? Way up in sales? What do you mean way up? That being said, Walmart has come out and publicly said they will stay open to make sure people have the supplies they need, and they are committed to it. And even now, today, going in Walmart, I did have to pick up some supplies. And I'm going to say this. Everybody that was an employee there had gloves on. And it was almost strange. Everybody seemed to be respecting the social distancing thing. Like, there were a lot of people there, but everyone was a couple of arm lengths reach from each other. And if they weren't, then they were being patient and waiting until somebody else went past. Like, people were actually respecting the social distancing thing. It was good to see, because that's the only way we're going to get through this together. I was going to say something, but you all really nailed it. Worst people I could look like Nick Cage, I guess, man. Going down here. Yeah, Cybermatic Geek, I think that there's going to be a whole lot of that going on. But you know what? Again, that's not a solution. Like, he just said that he's got to FaceTime his teachers online for 6 hours. I got news for you. Not everybody is in a situation where they have a home computer. Not everybody is going to have access to the resources they need to do that. It's a nice Band-Aid to have resources, but not everybody's going to be there. You're not going to have full classes. And the problem with going online is the assumption that an entire class is going to be able to do it, and they can't. And that's for various reasons, be it family reasons, be it technological reasons, be it that they have certain exceptionalities that they get accommodations for. It's not going to work for everyone. The problem with having it go online is now you're all of a sudden creating two tiers. Those people that have access to it and have the self-drive or the parental drive to do that learning, and then those that won't. And when schools open again and you go back, you're going to have a disconnect of two levels of students. I don't think that's the solution. I don't know what is, but I don't necessarily think that's the best solution. Just be nice to anyone still working. Yes, Starscream Wave is absolutely right. Those people are working very, very hard, and they absolutely deserve our respect. Whether they are people working at stores, whether they are, like police officers or firefighters or doctors or dentists or whatever. Oh, by the way, speaking of dentists, I finally went today about my jaw. You guys that have been around a while know that I've been having a bad issue with a dead tooth. Here's the funny part. The tooth next to it, the wisdom tooth next to it, doesn't have enough bone around it to keep it in place. So they said that the wisdom tooth has to come out and the dead tooth is going to stay. Go figure. Didn't happen today, but apparently that's what's going to happen. MWG, you do what you got to do, buddy. I understand if you've got supper time. Crimson, happy you're here. Too much info with the socks bit. Ew, it's better than paying scalper prices, baby. Socks, yo. Listen, man, desperate times, desperate measures, right? Oh, someone in one of the states was Walmart about not if they're coming back from a cruise. Oh, yeah, I heard about that, Maxwell 10. They were at Walmart and they didn't self-isolate when they came back from a cruise. Yeah, that was...
No, they were adamant about not self-isolating.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Then they're part of the problem, not part of the solution, right? Going down here, let's see. The store deputies are surrounding his to make sure he's isolated. Like, seriously? The state's deputies. See, deputies shouldn't have to do that. They have other priorities. They shouldn't have to do that. That person should do it themselves. Grow up. Grow up. Cybernetic Geek. I've seen someone toy swapping Siege grapple with Armada smokescreen. Really? That's a weird one, but people do all sorts of things. I heard someone call Armada smokescreen smoke grapple. I could see it. I could see it. As we go down here. Walmart here opens at 7 a.m. and closes at 8:30 p.m. with all of this. I don't think there's been an adjustment to the hours. Our malls have adjusted the hours, but I don't think our Walmarts have. Going down here. Instead of socks. Oh, you could, yeah, you could put it to your faucet, and then you kind of got a bidet. Yeah, that works. That works. Okay, and then that brings us to the last thing tonight, which is our gear up for tomorrow. Our gear up for Universal Collision, episode 7 of season 2, Monsters and Beasts. And I actually wrote down this time, instead of me trying to muddle through it, I actually wrote down kind of the story recap so far, because I was like, you know what? I ramble on about that too long, and I want to be concise with it. For anyone that doesn't know it, hey, you know what? Tomorrow, you're sitting home, marathon it. Pardon how bad the earlier episodes are. Marathon it. Get caught up, man. Tomorrow night's episode runs about 25 minutes. We'll do it around 7. We're going to do it at 7 Eastern. So 7 to 7:30. Yeah, we get together. We have a good time. What do you say? So the recap so far. Transformers from 4 corners of the universe start to head back to Cybertron, each led by a different prime, because they were all kind of contacted by Alpha Trion, and Alpha Trion said, hey, you have to go back to the coordinates of space where Cybertron should be. They are followed by 4 groups of Decepticons, led by 4 different leaders: Megatron, Bludgeon, Overlord, and Steeljaw. Let's see. Bludgeon happens upon the Constructicons in his journeys, and the Constructicons join his group. Great. Adds to his ranks. Megatron, likewise, adds Zarak and his followers to his group, which include Bruticus. So the Decepticons are adding to their groups as they travel. Overlord and Bludgeon meet up, and they decide to continue on to Cybertron while everyone else is delayed. So the ones that are ahead of the curve, the ones that are going to get there first by the looks of things, will be Bludgeon and Overlord, which I'm sure can't be good, along with all of their forces, of course. Overlord's forces are traveling aboard Overlord, and Bludgeon's forces are traveling aboard Tidal Wave. In the meantime, Beachcomber gets kidnapped, and Megatron and Steeljaw meet up aboard the Nemesis ship, better known to us as Trypticon, but they don't know him as Trypticon, they just know him as a ship. So we have 2 of the Decepticons together and 2 of the other Decepticons together. They haven't all come together yet. In the meantime, Rodimus and Sentinel Prime and their followers finally come together with Ginrai's, or Jinrai's group, if you will. So you have Jinrai and all of his followers, Rodimus and all of his, and Sentinel now and all of his. Wonderful. In the meantime, Optimus and Nova came together and met up with Alita 1's group. Alita 1's group and Jinrai's group are relatively close to each other, but they're not really interacting with each other. So all 4 primes are close, very close to reuniting with all of their forces, just like the Decepticons are getting very close to reuniting with all of their forces. What else do we have? It looks like, as I said, Bludgeon and Overlord are going to arrive to the coordinates first. Here's the thing. Here's the big thing that I've been saying.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
How about no? Here's the big thing that's been happening all season. As we travel back to the coordinates, we know that Cybertron ain't there. It's not there. It can't be there because Primus, who is Cybertron, is trapped in that void of nothingness that was Unicron's prison. So what is there? Is there anything there? What will Overlord and Bludgeon find? That's what we're going to find out in tomorrow night's episode. And we also tomorrow, thanks to Megatron and the Fallen, who we learn a lot about that relationship tomorrow night as well. They will introduce and kind of usher in a whole wave of characters that we have not seen in season 1 or season 2 yet. And we're going to start to be introduced to this whole wave of characters tomorrow night and kind of see how certain dynamics work. The story that you've known so far is about to get turned on its ear a little bit when we change the dynamics and introduce a whole bunch of monsters and beasts. I'm going to check back in with you guys.
When is the show?
For us, it'll be 8:30 our time tomorrow.
Oh, so yeah.
7 Eastern, 8:30 our time.
Yeah, you're right.
So stoked for Universal Collision tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm trying not to give too much away, but I'm trying to kind of wet the whistle a little bit, you know? We might not see anything new in the store until the end of the summer. I agree with Jason. We may not. Certainly midsummer. Marathon. We all got the free time. See? Just saying. And I've tried to give you guys a very kind of deep, meaty story with significantly sized episodes. I remember everybody complaining about how short and small the episodes were for the Prime Wars trilogy and like how kind of chunky the story was. So I've tried to give you something kind of very deep and expansive. I don't know if I succeeded, but I've certainly attempted to do that. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. That's right. Absolutely. And guys, like if anybody wants to, because we'll do it as a premiere, hey, so we can have a chat during it. Anybody who wants to help spread the word would be really appreciated. Just saying. Please make a Collision spinoff where the cons go on a stealing spree, steal Earth supply toilet paper. It's funny. Once season 2 is over, I'm going to handle season 3 differently. And I'll say this, season 2, just because of sheer story and number of characters, is the biggest of the seasons. The other ones will be easier. There'll still be an expansive story, but it will be an easier season because of the number of characters and the way that the story will go. They find the last remaining open Zellers in the void. Oh, man, I miss Zellers. Okay, so I just wanted to point this out. One of the characters that we will be introduced to tomorrow will be this guy. This is Predaking. This is the Transformers Prime Predaking. And he's going to be introduced tomorrow. This actually is the version 2. He was a Voyager, and I got this guy in 2014, 6 years ago. Around this time of year, actually, so 6 years ago, in 2014, I got him for $29.99, $30 Canadian. In fact, at the time, he was slightly on sale, so I got him for $30 taxes in. He is 292 grams. Similarly, this guy, Siege Astrotrain, is 292 grams. Exact same mass. Exact same. Look at the size difference. Exact same mass. This guy, taxes in is $75 here. No, in 6 years, anybody who has used the very frail, weak, and misguided justification that the prices have gone up because of inflation, no, inflation does not, in 6 years, cost a rise from $30 to $75. No, it doesn't. And the cost of oil has tanked. Prices should be going way down. Way down. Don't be fooled. Don't be manipulated. Don't be foolish and go out. We need to flatten the curve. We need to be patient. guys, we are all going to come out of this and it's all going to be good in the end. For now, please let me do what I can do to try and take you out of it for a little bit, entertain you for a little while, even if it's only a few minutes a day. I hope that this is the last time I need to talk about this topic, because honestly, I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sure it won't be, but I really hope it will be. I hope that you're as excited about Universal Collision tomorrow night as I am. I know I certainly am. Marathon it, man. You know, like, get caught up on the story. There's a lot of little nuances. You may notice little things. Keep them in mind because they matter and they count. You see that comparison there? By the way, our good friend Ty is going to be our voice of Predaking. So there you go. I'm so happy he's come on board. And if any of you guys know the series done by Drift Shots, he's a voice in that as well. So you've heard him before. Just kind of checking out here, going down very quickly. He's my pet. He's my boy. I got a legend size one. Legend size one was pretty good too. Astro Train 290 just by himself without no 292 with everything on him. Everything. Every piece of plastic. Nope. Crimson Raptors. I weighed him. That's with the tinder on him and his feet and his blaster. That's everything. He's only 292. Every single thing in that box on him. Yeah, without it, he's barely a Voyager in terms of his mass. Just the facts. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Okay, so that's it. Ladies, gents, I appreciate you coming by. This was a little bit shorter than usual, but that's okay because we only had so much to cover. I'm excited about tomorrow night. Spread the word. I'm going to, of course, be spreading the word. Get caught up. If you have any questions about the story, ask me. If you have any questions going into the story tomorrow night, ask me. There's nothing I hate more than when I see episodes come up and I'm like, of a series, I'm like, I don't know what happened in this story. I don't remember that. If you don't remember that, then as the creator of it, ask me, man. Ask me. In the meantime, be safe. I wish the best, nothing but the best for you, your family, your friends. Man, I got your back. And I appreciate you coming in and giving me some of your extremely, extremely valuable time. I know how important it is to you. As always, please hit that subscribe button. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there is a donate link down in the description. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day, you very much do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time, man, that you and I get together, either in the live shows here on Thursday nights or tomorrow at one of the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, man, inside the videos.